Hello you guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet your own big slouchy beanie hat. So this is the one we're going to be working on here. In case you're not into the really big sloppy slouchy hats, then I made two other sizes using the same pattern. So here's the smallest size one and here's the medium size one. Let me show you the small one compared to the big one. It's a big difference. And then the medium size one, there you can see a difference also. The one we're going to be working on is this one. But if you want any of the other ones, you can use the same pattern. All you'll have to do is eliminate some of the rows. For example, for the small one, what you'll have to do is eliminate 2 rows of the expanding rows. And for the green one, you'll have to eliminate 1 row. So I'm going to show you how the small one looks first. I like it as well. It's nice, but what I wanted for this season is a big slouchy hat. But this one's nice as well. Okay, so there you have it. It's really tiny and it's cute. It's comfortable. I like it too. So there's more than one ways of wearing the small one, which I like a lot. So there you can see how comfortable, and it just, I don't know, it's really comfortable and easy to use. Now the medium size one, which is the one I made in green, you also wear it the same exact way. So I'm gonna place it towards the back, and it's just also really comfortable. And I don't know, it's nice too, I like it, but the one we're gonna be working on is the big slouchy one. So the way I wear this one is the same exact way, but it just covers so much of my, I don't know, it's just comfortable. And I'm gonna show you guys how I keep them on. I can't find my bobby pins. Okay, here's one. I'll at least show you with one of the sides. So I get my bobby pin and I'm gonna place it right on the braid part of the beanie, and you can't even see that. And I would do the same thing to the other side. Yeah, I can't find my other bobby pin that I brought, but this is it. It's just, and it'll stay on. You can even place more than 2 if you don't feel comfortable enough, but with 2 it stays on the whole entire day. So this is it. This is what I'm going to be showing you how to make your own big slouchy beanie hat. The tools you're going to need for this project is a yarn, color of your choice. I'm also going to have a safety pin, and I'll show you guys why a little bit later on, a crochet hook, and a pair of scissors. This is the crochet hook size I'll be using. I'm going to get my crochet hook, cause a little bit of pressure to my yarn, twist it all the way around, hold the little tail, wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, and just bring it in. I'm going to make a chain of 3. Here we have 1, and then this little new one's a second one, and I'm going to make 1 more. Now that we have the little chain of 3, I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around the yarn, and I'm going to go into the first stitch. I'm going to bring it in, and there I have 3. So I'm going to get my main source of yarn, and I'm just going to wrap it around my crochet hook and bring the yarn in through the 3. So I'm going to make a little chain of 3 here. This one counts as 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around one more time and place it on the second stitch from the original chain of 3. And there I have the 3. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around the yarn and bring it in through the 3. Here I have 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to do this all around row 1 and 2. Wrapping it around, bringing it in to the stitch. There I have 3. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around the yarn, bring it in through the 3. I'm going to make a chain of 3. This counts as 1, 2, and 3. And there I have the first row. I'm going to go around doing the same exact thing for row 2 as well. So here I have my 2 rows. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around the yarn, and using the chain left behind by row 2, I'm going to skip a stitch and go into the following one. So I'm skipping the following one, I'm going to go into the next one, bring it out, there's the 3, wrap it around, and do the same thing, a chain of 3. This one counts as 1, 2, and 3. So all I'm doing, I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, come back to the chain left behind by row 2, skip a stitch, go into the next one. There's my 3 little loops. Wrap my yarn around the crochet hook and bring it in through all 3 of them and create my chain of 3. I'm going to be doing this all around row 3. Here I have completed row 3. What I'm going to do is get my safety pin and I'm going to place it right in the area where I began my hat. This way I know every time I pass this area where the head of the safety pin is, I know I've completed a complete round. So right here, I know as soon as I pass it that I'll be starting a new row. Now for row 4, I'm going to do the same exact thing I did for row 3. I'm going to do a chain of 3. This one counts as 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to come back to the chain left behind by row 3. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around the yarn, come back to the chain, skip the following stitch and go into the next one. Bring the yarn in through there. There you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and bring it in through the 3 and do the same thing. Create a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to wrap it around, come back to the chain, skip the following stitch, go into the next one, and I'm just going to continue doing this all along row 4. I've just completed row 4. I'm about to begin row 5. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, but instead of going in through the chain left behind by row 4, I'm going to go in through the big hole left by row 4, and I'm going to do this to all of them. I'm going to go in through the big hole, grab my yarn, bring it in through there. There you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and bring it in through the 3. I'm going to go in twice. I'm going to do the same thing again. Go in, there's my 3 loops, wrap it around and bring it in. I'm going to be doing the second time a chain of 3. This one counts as 1, 2, and 3. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, go in through the big hole left by row 4, bring my yarn in, there's the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook. I'm going to bring it in through the 3. I'm going to go in again, wrapping my yarn, going in through the big hole and just bringing the yarn in through there. There you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, go in through the 3, and on the second time I'm going to make a chain of 3. This little loop counts as 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to continue doing that for row 5. I've just completed row 5. I'm about to begin row 6. The way we're going to do row 6 is I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around my yarn and I'm going to go in once to the big holes left behind by row 5. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook, bring it in through the 3 loops and make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around my yarn and go in once. So it's basically the same thing except we're only going in once instead of twice. So I'm going to be doing that all around row 6. I've just completed row 6. I'm about to begin row 7. What I'm going to do for row 7 is I'm going to go in twice into each of the little holes left behind by row 6. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around. I'm going to go in, bring my yarn through there, and there you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap it around and bring my crochet hook in, and I'm going to do a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to go back in to the same big hole. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, go back in, bring the yarn in through there. There's the 3 little loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around the crochet hook and bring it in through the 3 loops and do another chain of 3. This one counts as 1, 2, and 3. So that's what I'm going to be doing all around row 7, going in twice, and each time I'll be making a row of 3, a little chain of 3. I've just completed row 7. I'm about to begin row 8. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and go in once into each of the little holes left behind by row 7. There you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap it around, bring it in through the 3 loops, and make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to continue doing this all around row 8. For row 9, we're going to do the same exact thing we did for row 8. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around my yarn. I'm going to go in once through each of the little holes left behind by row 8. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and bring it in through the 3 loops and make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to be doing this all around row 9. I've just completed row 9. I'm about to begin row 10. What I'm going to do is wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and go in to the hole left behind by row 9. And there you see the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and bring it in through the 3 loops. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook again and go in a second time through the same hole. And I'm going to bring them all together. And I'm going to make a chain of 3 the second time. So there's one counts as 1, 2, 3. So this is what I'm going to be doing all around row 10. I've just completed row 10. I'm about to begin row 11. What I'm going to do with row 11 is wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, go in once. There's the 3 little loops. Wrap my yarn one more time and bring it in through the little loops and create a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and go into the next little hole. And I'm just going to continue doing this very simple stitch all along row 11. I've just completed row 11. I'm about to begin row 12. The way I'm going to work row 12 is I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around my yarn. I'm just going to go in once. So it's going to be a pattern of going in twice, then once, twice, then once. Even on the time I go in only once, I'm also going to be creating a chain of 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to continue this pattern all around row 12, which is going in twice. There's 1, 2 on the second time. I'm going to make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go into the second stitch. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around and I'm just going to go in once, close these off and make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to continue this pattern. I've just completed row 12. I'm about to begin row 13. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and I'm going to go in twice into the stitch left behind by row 12. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook, bring it in again through the same stitch, wrap my yarn, bring the loops together, and the second time I'm going to make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. On the second stitch left behind by row 12, I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going in once, twice. The second time I'm going to make a chain of 3. So this pattern consists of going in 2 times, twice, and then going in once, making a chain of 3. On the next one I'm also going to go in once and make a chain of 3. On the following 2 stitches I'm going to be going in twice. So it's 1, 2, and the second time I'm going to be making a row of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. On the next stitch I'm also going to be going in twice. So I'm just following this pattern. I've just completed row 13. Now for row 14, 15, 16, and 17, it's going to be the same stitch. So we're going to basically be doing the same thing we did for row 13. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around. I'm going to go in twice, once. On the second time, I'm going to make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go in twice again to the second stitch. There's 1, there's 2. On the second time I'm going to make a chain of 3. On the following 2 stitches I'm just going to go in once and make a chain of 3. And I'm just going to continue this pattern for the following 3 rows. I've just completed row 17, and as you can see, the hat's looking like a little bucket. To begin row 18, what we're going to do is begin tightening the hat, but not so much. The way we're going to do this is, I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, and I'm going to go in once into each of the stitches left behind by row 17. And then I'm going to make a chain of 3. There's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, and I'm going to go into the next big stitch. And I'm just going to continue doing this all around row 18. I've just completed row 18. Now I'm going to begin row 19. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, and I'm going to go in once to each of the big stitches left behind by row 18. I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook and bring it in to the 3 loops. And I'm going to make a chain of 2 this time. So there's 1, 2. So I'm just going to continue doing this all around row 19. I've just completed row 19. I'm about to begin row 20, and we're still working on the tightening of the hat. So what I'm going to do here is wrap my crochet hook around once, and I'm going to go in once, and I'm going to close them off, and I'm going to do a chain of 2. There's 1, 2. On the next one, I'm just going to keep that one little chain, and I'm just going to wrap my crochet hook directly, go straight into the next one, and this next one's going to have a chain of 2. The next one, I'm just going to leave it at 1. The following one is going to have the chain of 2. The next one is just going to have the single one. The next one's going to have 2, and I'm just going to continue this pattern all around row 20. I've completed my final row, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull the loop. I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm just going to cut off, leaving a little tail. And what I'm going to do with this little tail is I'm going to place my crochet hook in there, tighten it up, and I'm going to go straight into the following stitch. So I'm just going to go in, wrap the yarn, and bring it straight in through the loop. And I'm just going to press it, and there it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my hook under a loop like that, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around my crochet hook, bring it in. I'm going to wrap my crochet hook around again and bring it in through this loop as well. And I'm just going to tighten it as tight as I can. And that's going to create a really tight knot. But it's up to you to finish off your project however you want. But this is how I finish them off, and I've really never had any problems with it coming undone. So to finish off, I'm still going to create another knot. All I did was place my crochet hook under another loop. I'm going to bring the yarn in through here, and right here what I'm going to do is 3 knots. So I'm going to get my scissors now. I'm going to cut that off and cut that area off too, and there we have it. It just looks even to the row. Now I'm going to zoom out the camera to show you guys the completed project. Here you can see how really big this slouchy beanie hat is. It's just really comfortable. So this is the outer part, and then if you flip it over, this is the inner part. This is how your beanie should look. If you're not into the really big slouchy beanies, then what you can do is just eliminate about 1 or 2 rows. That way you'll have a smaller beanie. But this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and have fun creating these beanie hats. I'll see you next time. Bye.